Hi. Hi everyone. Merry Christmas. Sorry, I was a couple of minutes late, I think, due to my internet issues, but I hope you guys can hear me. How's everyone spending their Christmas? I think we'll just wait a couple of minutes for maybe some more people to join so that we can start. But I'm really excited to say hello to all of you. We are doing this live on a Christmas special uh, for maybe people who are spending the Christmas alone away from their families. So, yeah, I think it's a good way to get online and chat a little bit about our favorite topic, whiskey. Um, I have a actually, I have two bottles that I'm really keen to open. So, I have both of them in front of me and I will show it to you guys, and then maybe you guys can decide which is the one that I should open, and then we can do a quick tasting of that, and I can talk to you all about the whiskey, where I bought it from, what is that I like about it, etc. Everything. So maybe let's just wait a couple of minutes and then we can start. But yeah, both the whiskeys are Irish whiskeys because this year has been all about Irish whiskeys for the Dram Club. So both these whiskeys are very special. I bought them in Ireland, one at the duty free in Dublin, and one actually from a very special shop in Dublin called the Celtic Whiskey Shop. So I will talk to you about all of them. Have any of you tried Irish whiskies before? Tell me in the comments which Irish whiskies do you guys like? What do you think about Irish whiskies in general? Because they're quite popular now. Uh, Ireland itself is seeing big resurgence in the space of Irish whiskies. A lot of new distilleries coming up, a lot of older distilleries that had shut down are now being brought back to life. And obviously, uh, Irish whiskies are triple distilled. They are largely are triple distilled, very smooth, very easy sipping whiskies, and very interesting, very innovative um, whiskies that I got to see and try in Ireland. So Yeah, I mean, I'd love to know your thoughts about Irish whiskies. What do you guys think? Which ones have you tried? Um, well, let's wait maybe 2, 3 minutes more and then I can start talking about the bottles that I have with me today. Okay, I think it's just me and a couple of people. So clearly, everyone's busy partying on Christmas. Um, Maybe we should do this Christmas special tasting later when there are more people to enjoy it with. But what I will do is I will at least showcase the two bottles that I had picked out and I wanted to talk to you about. So, one is from a very famous distillery in Ireland. It was the distillery that opened after 125 years. It was the first distillery to open up back in Dublin. It is Teeling. Uh, this whiskey is Teeling, but it's single pot still whiskey, but it was a limited edition bottling for Celtic Whiskey Shop, which is possibly the best whiskey shop that you can find in all of Dublin. Um, I met the people there, extremely knowledgeable. They were really friendly, very, very approachable. You could ask them about any whiskey bottle in their shop, and they were happy to open the bottle and share a sample with you in case you wanted to try it, and then talk you through the brand and the story. So, this is a Teeling Chestnut PX cask, which is a limited edition bottling done for the Celtic Whiskey Shop. Now, interestingly, it says maturation in chestnut and PX, which means it has been matured in chestnut wood barrels and sherry oak barrels, right? It's a cask strength whiskey bottled at 57% alcohol. I had a very small sample of it at the shop when before buying it. For me, at that point in time, it was very bold and intense. But uh, in my trip to Ireland, obviously, I tried a lot of whiskeys, so I don't remember it very, very clearly, but I remember it being very intense. But what chestnut does is it gives it a little bit of a sandalwood kind of a flavor to the nose and to the palate, which is very distinct. Now, if you know that in Scotch whiskey you can use only oak wood, but in Irish whiskey there is no specification on the style of wood that you can use, and that's why you see wood which is not just oak but others, and that's how you see this chestnut oak as well. Yeah, this was bottled on in January last this year, so January of 2024. It doesn't mention the age. uh, yeah, I think on the packaging it says uh, nose, ripe red apples, berries, chocolate, vanilla, and a touch of orange, fresh orange and raisins, which is something you would get from a sherry cask whiskey. Taste, you have roasted nuts, dry fruits on the forward with touch of leather, spice, and chocolate. Finish is dry um, with some toasted oak and chewy tannins. But I think We will decode our own tasting notes when we try it. So that's one whiskey bottle that I have, that I wanted to try. The other one is actually Waterford. Again, a distillery that I really enjoyed visiting. I think, uh, if I were to describe them, I find them the Willy Wonka of the Irish whiskey world, to be honest. I think they've been doing some crazy stuff. It is very saddening to hear that the distillery, if it doesn't get the receivership that it has put up for, it may shut down because they haven't been able to secure funding. But I think what was interesting about the distilleries, they were really experimenting with different types of Irish barley. A lot of terroir is involved in their philosophy of whiskey making now, and that's why even the names of the bottle are more as per how you have, um, how wine has a nomenclature of naming. I think Waterford follows something similar. It is started by the same guy, Mark Rainier, who also gave us Bruichladdich, which was again an exceptional Scotch whiskey. What's interesting about Waterford is that they have a new make library, and so they have new make of every spirit that they have distilled from the time they started till date. uh, what it does to them is it helps them understand the difference between what different barley from different farms can impart as a flavor to the final spirit. What is the kind of character that the barley will give to the eventual texture of the spirit, how it sits on your palate, what kind of taste profile will it be, lighter, heavier, waxy, greasy, very delicate, all of that. And I think they are one of those people, they have a chart near their stills which shows, which are the farms from which they have taken barley in this month and next year, when is the release happening. So if you go to their bottle and you put the serial number on their website, you can actually trace the farms from where the barley for the bottle would have been harvested. And that is something very, very rare in the whiskey world, not just Irish whiskey, I think in general in the whiskey world. To be able to highlight that provenance is very unique, and that's why I really enjoyed the Waterford tour. It is actually made. The distillery is situated in an erstwhile brewery. There was a brewery earlier there, and Guinness used to be made in that brewery. So when Mark Rainier bought the distillery, the space from Diageo at that point in time, they had a contract that they cannot brew beer. So he makes whiskey there instead. Um, so, okay, so those are the two bottles that I have. If you guys are interested in which one should I try, please leave it in the comments, and then maybe we can open that bottle and do a quick tasting. Or if some other day suits you guys better, we can also do this chat then and do the tasting with you guys whenever you guys are available. Either of it works for me. I'm more, to be honest, in my opinion, I'm more keen to open the Teeling bottle today. That's what I had in mind, but I just thought it would be good to get a poll from you guys in terms of what is it that I should try. And if you guys in the next maybe 2-3 minutes can let me know, and then we can open that bottle and do a quick tasting. But yeah, in the meantime, do let me know if you guys have tried any Irish whiskies before. What do you guys think of the Irish whiskies? Because I have been very, very, like, this year for me has been all about Irish whiskies. Also because I got the opportunity to travel Ireland, see some of the old distilleries, see some of the new age distilleries. And I think after multiple visits to Scotland, it was a very, very refreshing change. Um, Irish are obviously a lot more generous, a lot more fun, easygoing as a nation, as a bunch of people, and I think that also reflects in their whiskeys. So yeah, that for me was very um, memorable. I would say one of the most memorable highlights of 2024 was my trip to Ireland. Well, I guess we clearly don't know which is the whiskey that we want to try. So, oh yeah, I didn't tell you. Yeah. So again, Waterford is 50% ABV. This is the one that I bought from the Dublin Duty Free. I from what I remember, I think this is peated, but it doesn't mention on the bottle. But from what I know, it is peated. And interestingly, in Ireland, using peat is forbidden by law. So there are two ways in which Irish whiskey makers can produce smoky whiskies. One, they either have to get peated malted barley, which more often than not comes from Scotland, or the second way is that they have, if they want to use Irish barley, which Waterford does. So Waterford only and only makes their single malt with Irish barley. They send their barley over to Scotland to get it malted, to get the peat flavor influence, and then they bring it back. So they do take a lot of effort into making sure that they are using everything Irish, right from water to barley to yeast, with the exception of course, getting the maltings done in Scotland so that they can also impart the peat influence on the barley. Right. So I think it's been about 15 minutes that I've been talking, and clearly everyone's very busy with their Christmas celebrations. So maybe we should leave people to that and try a whiskey that we think we should try or not. Maybe let's wait for one more minute before we decide what to do next. Okay, then. I guess I don't have a lot of people with me to quickly do the tasting. So what we will do is uh, we will put this live as a poll, and leave it here. And you guys can tell me. We will leave it in the options for you guys. Tell us whether we should try the Waterford or we should try the Teeling, and we will come back on Saturday and do this live again. And then we do a quick tasting between the two. I'm hoping people will be a lot more free and away from family commitments. I do see although some more people joining in, so maybe let's, no. Well, I guess that's that for today then. And we come back on Saturday, finish this live with the tasting, and I promise you, uh, Merry Christmas, Emil. Thank you so much. Wish you the same. Um, I hope you were having a good family time with on Christmas with your family. I think and now seeing people joining in. So let me just wait for a few more minutes before we jump into the tasting if we're doing it today, if we get the opinions right. So for people who are just joining in, I was talking about two Irish whiskies that I have that I really want to try, and the option to decide is with you guys. One is a Waterford Distillery whiskey, if you guys can see the bottle, and the other one is Teeling single cask. This was again bottled for Celtic Whiskey Shop in Dublin. It is a Chestnut PX cask at 57% alcohol, and this is bottled early this year, cask number 29837. It says hand selected by Celtic Whiskey. Celtic Whiskey is the best whiskey shop that you can visit in Dublin. So if you are in Dublin, while there are a lot of pubs and bars which are amazing and great to visit, but I think this one shop is a must visit, and it's right in the center of the city, so you don't even have to kind of look for it. All right, then I think with that we come to the end of this video, because we need more people to be able to share the love of whiskey with. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave this live published on our page, and you guys can tell us in the comments which whiskey bottle should we try, whether it should be the Waterford or the Teeling whiskey, and we will meet on Saturday, same time, 3 p.m., and do a quick tasting of one of the bottles that you guys would have selected. Wishing you all a Merry Christmas and hope you guys enjoy and have fun. Cheers.